Chairman, and Mr. Secretary, you have every right to be proud that America is now energy independent. This didn't just happen. The fact is that there's been political elements and disagreements that, for example, would have stopped fracking in its place, which is the system, the new system that's given us so much energy and given us natural gas, which has permitted that level of CO2 to go down, as you mentioned. Let me just note that as you take over your new responsibilities here, one of the most important responsibilities is to say no when things are aren't as good as other alternatives or more expensive. And I would hope that as you get into your job, that you take that part of your job very seriously. Quite frankly, building any new nuclear power plants based on the current technology is, I believe, not only a waste, but a danger to the American people and the people of the world. The old-style nuclear reactors, for example, the reactors you're talking about that you want to sell to Saudi Arabia, do they produce plutonium?
Yes, sir.
They do. Okay. Why should we, when we are capable, we have the capabilities now of building a new generation of nuclear power that will not have plutonium left over, that can't melt down, that in fact will use the nuclear waste from the current generation as fuel and eat it up rather than having to have it here threatening us. I would hope that you take a very close look at that, and instead of just giving your support to ongoing projects like ITER, which has not seen any progress towards giving us a real energy source, but sure eats up a lot of money. And so I'd hope as you move forward in this job, and I know you take it seriously, I think Texans have a lot to be proud of about what you did down in Texas. And I will refrain from talking about all the wind that Texas produces. We think that that's enough. I won't go with that. I won't go down that road. But let me just ask you this, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Shimkus of Illinois has a piece of legislation aimed at trying to offer us at least a moving forward with some kind of plan that will make it safer. Right now, the nuclear energy that's being stored throughout the country, including San Onofre, California, is enormously expensive. Yes, sir. And I'm not sure that it's safe to have all nuclear energy stored like that. Shimkus would reopen the Yucca Mountain debate. Do we have a position on that?
Yes, sir. From the standpoint of there are 38 states that have nuclear materials stored in less than satisfactory places, one of them being San Onofre. And I've got a great concern about San Onofre being in the circle of fire. It's exactly the same geological area that Fukushima was in. Right. And so correct. The idea that you could have a major earthquake and with that a tragic event, that whole Inland Empire, you take that off of the economic, and it could be disastrous to our country.
Let me invite you to San Onofre, and we could go through that
yes,
together. If you haven't been there.
I've driven by it a number of times, but never been in it. So
that would be a good thing to do, and I appreciate your leadership. And again, leadership quite often means saying no. Yes, sir. And that's the hardest part of a job here in Washington, is saying no to people who want money.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rohrabacher. The gentlewoman from Nevada, Ms.